Hey, what's up? This is Todd Smith, and I am back with another video. In this video, I want to talk about what has become my recent obsession, the Roland JD-Xa, and how I think it's kind of misunderstood and underrated. The JD-Xa has turned into, I would say, my favorite soundboard I own. I myself have had this for years and have overlooked its power, and I'm just realizing how much I truly love this synth, and I love it so much, I just snagged a second used JD-Xa for $700 American, plus $20 shipping, because I am getting it through Guitar Center, which I love getting used through Guitar Center because I have 30 days to test it out, make sure everything works. Any issues, I can return it, no questions asked. So after shipping $720, so with this hopefully fully functional, I really hope no issues on this second JD-Xa. The JD-Xa is overlooked for various reasons. One, the price tag. I mean, this is not just the JD-Xa. Any Roland piece, any Korg piece, any Moog piece, any brand synth that is under that umbrella, if you're buying it brand new, chances are you're technically paying too much. You're paying for the brand name. It's like they're like the Nikes of synth. If you buy a brand new Korg Wave State and a Korg Op 6, they're for their build and everything, they're technically overpriced. Same with JD-Xa and any other Roland piece on the market. But that's where the used market really shines on those pieces. You can snag them and just skip over that price tag, and many times snag them at insanely cheap rates because the saturation of the market is insane. We have so many options. Things just get left behind, misunderstood. They don't really get the attention they should get because we have so many options. And then you have content directions, people pushing people certain directions with their content. And people really take content creators' words to heart. So I believe these synths at the used price, you can snag them, because I got one for $800 about a year ago and one for $700 now. I believe that is an absolute steal for what you get out of the JD-Xa. The sound engine on this board is freaking spectacular. It has easily turned into my favorite Roland piece to just compose and create tracks on. The analog section of this machine is super gritty. You can't really create a classic Juno or Jupiter sound from the analog section. Surprising enough, if you want those classic tones, you're going to get better results from the supernatural digital engine. The filter on the analog section is absolutely spectacular. I think it has more grit and a little bit more darker tone than classic Roland synths. And as somebody who pushes kind of a dark wave industrial EBM vibe, that is an absolutely perfect direction for me to go in the analog section. Now, the analog section is something I loved right out the gate. It really sold me on the synth. The digital section is something I overlooked for a very, very long time. And over the last few months, I've just realized how much I really love that supernatural sound. And the PCMs, the like 500-600 options they have in this synth, really sound spectacular. Some of the best E-pianos I've ever really heard on a preset synth. The pads are spectacular. You can make some really crazy thick saws with these super saws stacking on top of analog. It's just absolutely vicious. And again, all this kind of got overlooked. One, because the price tag is hefty, because it's Roland, you're paying that hefty price tag. Two, people didn't like the look. They didn't like the gloss black with the red. I think it's cool. To me, it's kind of like a Death Starry vibe. It kind of has like a dark Death Star vibe. And I'm actually surprised it's not more of a hit with kind of like the darker industrial scene, because I think it actually has a really cool look for like that vibe. At the same time, I can understand why some people might not like the look. But a lot of people, strangely enough, really judge their opinions heavily on a synth on how it looks. And the fact that it didn't have a total built-in sequencer, it was very limited compared to what some people wanted. Some people felt like this should be an all-in-one unit. I myself don't think everything needs a fancy sequencer, everything needs a full-fledged drum machine with inside of it. But that is one of the reasons why people really kind of overlook this machine. The JD-Xi is very much more of a groove box feel with the full drum kits, the ability to create chaining patterns, where this drops that completely and really focuses on sound design. And some people say this is a menu dive, but I mean, I'm going to argue it is no worse than a virus. A virus, which is technically considered the pinnacle of digital synths in terms of, live performance, sound, everything like that. It's just kind of been the go-to for years for professionals. I've used the Virus B, and it has just as much menu diving in the digital aspects as the JD-Xa, and the JD-Xa has just as much front-end control, and I would argue better front-end control than the Virus. And when you talk about effects, high-quality effects, Roland is known to have just really good effects overall in everything they put in. I think you've got 30 effects that can be applied globally to all the sounds, all 8 tracks. Then you have, I think, 69 effects that can be individually applied to each individual track. Whether it be in the live stage world or the YouTube world, I almost see nobody using the JD-Xa. We know the guy from Duran Duran kind of had a thing with Roland, and I think at one point was using up to 4 of them on stage. He did say some of them were used for MIDI controller aspects, so I don't think he was drawing sounds from all 4 JD-Xas. But he used 4 of them. Another industrial band, With Teeth, definitely rocked one for a while, but I think they've actually dropped it for a virus. It's just something you don't really see out in the wild too much, and you don't really see represented on YouTube really at all in terms of within the live jam or people showcasing their gear. It's just a really untouched product, and it really sounds spectacular. So spectacular, I snagged a second one used, and now I can have up to 16 tracks of JD-Xa sound. The 2 JD-Xas will pretty much be equal to what a virus is to most people, my main source for sounds and sound design. And when it comes down to making really good sounds and sound design, I believe that JD-Xa is massively slept on, massively underrated. But for me, I'm sold. The JD-Xa is going nowhere. It's now just a main part of my studio. So much I had to pick up a second one. I would love to know your opinion. And as always, stay positive, stay creative, support each other, and peace.